There we go. What's up, everybody? It's Saul Sunforge here for Dungeons and Taverns. For those of you over on D Live and on YouTube, how's everybody doing? I appreciate all of you. This is Asgrim's second session in Emil Alda, which is the Mother Tree. It's the elven capital in this world. And Asgrim is currently trying to partition in order to get an audience with the head huntress. And so that's what we're at today. And let's see what happens. Oh, and the rest of the group is off in Dalia Carnassus, the pirate city. And yeah, eventually, presumably, their group's going to meet back up again with each other. Oh, and these are the current sessions. The past sessions are also still being uploaded. But I was trying to upload both of them because of the whole OGL business. I wanted to make sure you guys as much content as you can. And so we're going to continue uploading the current episodes and then the past episodes. The past episodes are going to be numbered as they always have been. The current episodes are going to be renumbered, and this is episode 2 of Asgrim's new episodes. And then once it catches up, then those numbers are going to be just reincorporated into the series chronologically. And then we're just going to continue as normal. So thanks for watching. Go ahead and subscribe. Leave comments down below. And if you have any questions for Asgrim, I'm sure he'll answer them for you. It is the next morning. It's about 10 a.m. The sun isn't yet fully up. But it is a rather windy day, actually, and there's an overcast. It looks like it's going to rain sometime in the early stages of the day. The city itself is already alive with the sounds of trade and the smells of delicious smelling meats curing. Jinx is already awake, and he is actively waiting for you to determine what exactly is the plan for today. Because he's kind of going off of your plan for now, as his plan was originally to already be gone with his merchandise.
Well, I get out of bed. I kind of like greet him in the morning. Got a little late last night, but I found you some traveling companions.
Uh, Traveling companions are always good in my business. I venture. Did you sleep good?
Just look better than I did most nights. So
I imagine most nights you see under the stars, with only a rock to keep your head at rest.
I'm a little lucky I got a bedroll. But otherwise, yes.
Are you hungry?
Actually, I am, but I think they left some food in the kitchen for me to eat.
All right. Well, I cooked up some stew here in the pot on the fire, but you feel free to use the kitchen as you see.
Oh, so that's what has smelled so nice. Actually, I do think I will take a portion of that. Could smell it all the way up in my bedroom. Oh,
There's a lot of rabbits in these woods over here. If you're if you ever find yourself without food in these woods, you'll be rest easy to know that you're gonna have an easy time catching supper.
that is indeed useful information. I'm pretty sure the people that I was talking to last night will be here shortly.
Yeah. So what is it you're trying to do exactly? Then you want to arrange what permanent accommodations for these folks in your city, or you're just looking to set up trade routes, or
Both, actually.
do,
So,
do you think that such a fledgling settlement such as yours would be able to support continued trade in the quantities that you would need to trade with a city such as this?
I am hoping, since we have something they might want, we have access to high quality clay. Clay that can be used in art, statue making, and so on.
I've never known an elf to turn down artwork. That's for sure.
Yeah.
If what you say is true about the quality of your clay, that's definitely good for their pottery. I know they like to make their own dishes and cups, silverware.
Yeah. And as of my knowledge, it's gonna be a renewable source with all the minerals and clay settlement being brought down by the river. It's just built up over years, so if we don't strip mine it, we should be able to have a continual supply.
Well, for such a new city, having at least one resource will nearby will ensure that it grows at a decent pace. Although you might want to not rely just on the clay.
Oh, the land around is good farmland, so.
Well, good farmland is always gonna get you somewhere.
And as far as I know, the hills around the entire thing has a decent amount of metals and minerals and gemstones. From what I've seen so far, we're actually getting an extensive survey done as we speak.
Well, it sounds like you could commission caravans to go off to all corners of the continent and maybe get yourself some pretty lucrative trade routes going.
Indeed. And that's why I see you might get a benefit. Because you actually have trade routes established already.
Yes, that's true, but most of those are on the other continent.
So what I'm thinking is kind of a partnership. Any resources we can supply from the clay and so on that you can't acquire on your end, we are willing to sell to you at a really good price.
Well, what's a really good price?
Well, first we need to figure out how higher quality this clay actually is and if it indeed actually holds any magical properties as well. So that all all those factors will determine the price, as you know.
Right.
But as of right now, it's an unknown factor. We just know that it is a fairly high quality clay from the reports we have.
Well, like I said, the elven people definitely going to be your main suitors around here if you're looking to offload a good amount of clay. Uh, they tend to rather like their pottery. It's a status thing, I think.
Hmm.
But Well, you said you had gems too. They like gems too.
Most people tend to like gems.
The goblins up in Clogsneak, they like gems. They might have them. You could probably trade some of them resnium crystals up there for gems, maybe if you're interested in looking at trading for those. Um, Miller's Crossing is where you want to probably trade with if you're looking for. If you're looking for fish, if you're looking for boat supplies, wood, if you're looking for armaments, they make cannons there for the ships. So there's quite a few places you could trade with up here.
Yeah, but it also seems that we would be able to export a lot of the wood in the area, and that we have plenty of as well. And as far as I know, we also have some people who are skilled herbalists, and they are most definitely going to be producing some decent quality of medicinal herbs. So yeah, we have a solid base to do a lot of different things. The issue is right now that we really need to get the settlement itself started and housing people and so on. Hence why I ordered all the tents and so on from you.
Well, I think that I think if you're able to set up 2 or 3 of those trade routes, your city's gonna grow pretty fast. It seems like you have a decent amount of resources. Right now, it seems like you're the things that I would probably worry about is food and having enough people to get all the work done. You're gonna have quite a bit of work to do.
Oh, we have more than 120 people. So
Uh,
yeah.
And then are they uh are they all elves?
No, the majority are orcs and half orcs.
Oh. Well,
So strong arm, strong back.
strong temper too.
Yeah. These seem rather mild manners, and yeah, just seemed like they were looking for a place to settle down and find a more stable lifestyle.
Well, we it's true in times of peace we can all sing a lovely tune together, but with all those different races mingling together, hostilities are eventually bound to erupt, are they not?
I fear so, but as of right now, I am just taking it a day at a time.
Do you have any type of security or guards, watch, or anything like that set up?
We have a few guards over there to maintain the peace.
All right.
Not a lot, but
Well,
yeah,
a little bit's better than nothing, I suppose.
yeah.
And as you're talking to Jinx, a a gray and black bushy male tabaxi comes strolling up to you, and he says, "Is this where I get a drink at? I'm so parched from my travels."
Sadly, the barkeep is not here, but I do have a bottle of wine you can have.
Oh, I just to have?
Well, I'm hoping that you'll share a good story.
Why? A good story is exactly what I have. I could trade you a good story for that bottle of wine, sir.
I take one of the cheaper flask of wines I actually have left.
Allow me
Oh,
to, allow me to introduce myself to you. My name is Quinthax the Storied of the Ashen Settlement. I was my people's lore keeper. So if you're looking for a good story, you actually, well, I happened upon you, but this is a good occasion. Pleasure to make your acquaintance, sir.
I am Asgrim. I extend my hand. Okay, I said cheap wine, but it's still 25 gold.
It's on the cheaper side, but it's still expensive.
Yeah.
And Jinx was in the middle of speaking to you about trade with the Mountaintop Brewery and how that would would help to quell down any tensions that arise from the orcs, as they tend to prefer a stronger alcohol, and they won't tell you this, but they happen to get knocked on their ass by many a dwarven ales and spirits. And as Jinx is telling you this, then Quinthax introduces himself to Jinx, and he says, well, I haven't seen too many of your kind around here. Um, so Jinx kind of lets him know a little bit about himself, just cursory information, nothing too identifying. Just kind of. He came from the Dahlia Carnassus. He has a few ships over there. He's a merchant. That's pretty much it. So, Quilthax looks at you, Asgrim, and says, "So, well, for this bottle of wine, you wished for a story. What type of story would you like to hear?"
Do you have any stories of legends of old of this place and its people?
Of this place? Huh. Well, I can tell you that this place is indeed old. This is rumored to be the very first tree in existence. That's exactly why it's so tall. It's the tree of life. This tree is easily over 1,500 years old.
That is indeed old.
The the head huntress is actually located at the bottom of the tree, where you'd think she'd be located at the top of the tree, like most governments could go from the top down. But here, the government's actually located in the base of the tree, near the roots.
Strong roots carries the rest of the tree. So if there's a strong base, that's a strong tree.
That's right.
But what brings one of your kinds out here? Wouldn't a lore keeper be with his people?
Well, my people are kind of scattered to the wind. I'm actually on a mission looking for several of my people.
And how goes that?
I found some of them. I found some people over in Dahlia Carnassus. There's a few of them over there. A lot of them took jobs as mercenaries. We were desert people, and then, well, we had some calamities. We were attacked, you see, by a large oozing like creature, and it kind of, well, it kind of just took all of our belongings with it and just carried on. It just ran us all over. It's, well, I can't exaggerate and say that this creature is almost half the size of this here tree.
Yeah, there are some fearsome and big beasts out there. But at least that you survived and are able to carry on your people's stories. That is indeed a noble and great cause.
Yeah, I find that as a people, we survive better when we're more nomadic in nature. When we tend to make roots and stay down at one location for too long, it usually ends in disaster at some point.
Well, I hope the same doesn't fare for me that way, seeing that I am in the process of starting a small city.
Well,
You cut out, so if you said something, I didn't hear it.
no, I was thinking of what to say next. Actually,
Okay.
he says, "Well, if you have need of a storyteller, I I shall come to your establishments and share some tales for coin. I'm in need of coin currently, as I need to make a journey to Samaria, and the nearest ship going that way is at Miller's Crossing, and it's 1,500 gold for passage."
That indeed is a lot of gold. Do you perceive? Do you have any other skills than storytelling?
Well, I use roll persuasion. Okay. I used to I used to be a card carrying member of the Thieves Guild. If you need a little bit of silent work, then I'm an old hat at that game. Although I don't ply my trade as much as I used to. Tend
I I do have a few skills in that area myself. I take forth a coin, put it on the table, and then I do sleight of hand to remove it.
all right, let's see. All right, so you put it you do what? You just put the coin on the table and then just try to take it off real fast, or how are you doing it?
No, I'm like doing having the coin in one hand, so basically a small sleight of hand trick for making it disappear from one hand, show up in the other, and then disappear out of both, and
Hmm. Okay.
basically stuff like that.
Okay. So he's watching oh, okay.
Almost.
Yeah. So he's watching where it's going, and for the most part, he's able to keep track of where it's at. But the grand finale at the end, where you're the coin isn't in either one of your hands, he didn't quite understand what happened there, and he is impressed though, um, by your quickness. And And he says, "Well, very good. I would like it to be known that if the job pays enough, I'm willing to do quite a few things. However, it should be known that I will not murder children, and I will not murder the innocent in order to extract a target who may not be innocent."
That is indeed good to know. A man of my heart. But have you ever been to Stragoni?
Yeah, I've been to Strigoli. Why? Why do you ask? He says in kind of hushed and more serious tone.
Because I have an acquaintance there that, yeah, got a harder punishment than he deserved. Some people bribed some officials and got him thrown in there over some gambling debts. So,
Boy, you sure picked a tough nut to crack for the first case, didn't you, there, Chief?
I hear so.
Uh, so what all do you know about that place? He asks inquisitively.
In that it's an island. And the entire thing is one giant penal colony. And that's about it.
Well, okay, let's. And he looks over. He says, "It's okay to speak in front of your associate," referring to Jinx, asking you.
Jink is
Jinx
a
is
friend.
okay. Yeah.
I'm just got a hair or something in my throat, so
Oh, okay. Well, if it's okay to speak in front of him, then I don't mind. And he says, "Welcome aboard." He says, "Well, Strigoli, yes, you're right. It is a penal colony. Uh, it's run by uh, the vampires,
I
the
hear that as well.
the bloodsuckers. They in exchange for not encroaching upon our lands, we send them fresh prisoners, and they agree to leave us alone. It's been primarily how we've most lands have avoided most of the vampire attacks, is because the majority of the vampires that are sociable and in unknown quantity live in Strigoli. Uh,
Hmm.
I can tell you that rarely are there ships that leave with passengers. Quite often, there's ships that arrive with passengers. And the few attempts that there have been made to escape via swimming have been met with grisly ends. There's sharks in the water, you see. I do know that uh, mm, if you have of magical abilities, it's been told that it messes with them in untold ways. Like, obviously teleportation magically right out the window, or else then everybody would just be able to leave, wouldn't they?
Indeed.
Uh, Let's see what else. Well, there's an arena there. If you get sent there, there's a chance that you're going to be fighting in the arena. Uh, your entire sentence that you're there, you're fair game to be called to fight in the arena, and you fight for the entertainment of the vampires.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's not too many people get to leave there. It's not a great place to be. So who are you gonna rescue there, if I can ask?
An old dwarfish friend that has some abilities in making armor.
Oh, if he has skills, they're not wanting to let him go.
I was expecting as much, but seeing that you bring up the arena, I have come up with a slight idea of how we might be able to.
What's up, Dova?
Hey, Troll.
Yeah, the arena. That's what I understand is that if you're called up to the arena and they don't have young kids fight in the arena, I think that the call age of calling is what they call it is 14 years of age and older. And if you're called, then you have to go to the arena. And from what I understand, different levels of infractions require you to fight in successive battles in the arena. It makes it so that, well, each battle becomes harder, and theoretically, you would eventually succumb to just fatigue. And if you don't, well, then you learned your lesson, didn't you? It's a method of control.
Yeah.
Not too bad, man. Just started playing about a half hour ago or so. I can't believe it's been a half hour already.
Well, not as much because you did your intro and we talked a little to begin with, so it's been like 15 or something like that.
All right.
But you said you are nomad, and
Y- yes. I go from town to town, village to village, picking up stories and bartering my way around. Um, I don't make a great living, but it's a living. Get to travel the road, and I'm full. My belly's full. I get a room for the night, and I tell a story or two.
well, how long are you staying here then?
Well, I just arrived. Actually, you're probably the third person I spoke to since I've been here. So I imagine I'm going to be here for a few days.
Oh, yeah. It was just that Jinx here is heading to the settlement I'm trying to supply get supplies for. So, and he's bringing some other people along as well that are going there as well. So,
I see.
if you wanted, I'm sure you would be welcome to travel with them.
Yeah, I suppose I could do that if I get myself some provisions in order to make the trip. Get some food and uh, I need to find a cobbler to fix my shoes. My my boots broke a seam on my travels, and I need a cobbler to repair it.
Yeah, watering issues can be a bad thing. I know there's an armor smith over by the the other side of the tree. But I do not know if there's a cobbler anywhere around.
Well, all right. I'll take a look around some of these shops. Maybe I could just make a new purchase. What? When did you say the? When did you say we were all taking off?
Well, we were talking about leaving this. I told them that Jinx would be leaving this morning, so I kind of expected most of them to be here by now.
Is there a reason that they wouldn't have been here by now? Did you specifically give them early in the morning or?
No, I just said Jinx wanted to leave in the morning, and that's about it.
I see.
I do know one of them had to finish their shift standing guard, but other than that. But I do believe they just got up when they came here.
Hmm. And sure enough, after about 10 minutes of talking to the tabaxi, folks are starting to file in. They're definitely wearing more light travel clothes. They have light bags with them, like a bedroll and things. Nothing too major, just enough provisions and barely armed in case there's some type of minor inconvenience on the road. But generally traveling light.
Also for hunting and so on.
Yes, and this one gentleman who's traveling with seemingly his daughter. He says, "Well, good morning to you all.
Good morning.
I see." He looks over at the wine. I see you all decided to start drinking. Resume drinking a little bit early, huh?
Oh no. Our companion here just had a rough night, so I offered him a little to warm his gut on and his soul.
And the tabaxi tilts his flask a little bit. Says, "Road weary." And then the elf worker says, "Say no more. I don't get to travel that too much on account of tending to the lands and making sure this one gets a proper education."
That indeed is a noble cause. But I have to say, her beauty far outshines yours. So I assume she takes after her mother.
Yeah, she does. I imagine she does, yeah. How I miss
I,
her.
I get up and walk over and extend my hand. Asgrim.
Johnny, put it there.
And then I look to his daughter.
She says, "My name is Emily, sir."
I take her hand, like, instead of shaking it, like grabbing her fingers and bend them slightly and give a slight bow, so I kiss her knuckles and then,
Oh my. How charming of you. Yes, Nova, that's right. Me and G. Lewin are flirting with each other now. It's actively got to that point. Yes.
I can't hide it anymore.
Woo me, big fella, woo me. Give me a performance check in real life.
Oh, thy eye shines as stars in the evening, bright upon the night sky, as jewels in the heart of every man.
All right. If you say so.
Yes, I can do the sappy stuff if I want to. And as I get up, I look at her. The settlement of Rivenheart will be greatly enhanced by your beauty. And I hand her one of my roses. So now I'm down to 8.
She says to you, hold on, let me get a drink real quick.
Actually, that's not like a good idea. I'm going to get some water as well.
Emily says to you, I hope your city will eventually have very nice schools and libraries.
I indeed myself intend to build a library. And for the schools, I do know some of the people used to have been talking about starting some schooling for the little ones. Are you a teacher yourself?
Oh no, I'm far too young to be a teacher.
Then what do you study, young one?
Mostly I'm interested in the ocean and plants. I like caves too. Those are my interests usually. Although I like to read fiction.
Well, my companion over here is a storyteller.
Oh. And she actually, as if she just now noticed the large kitty cat, and she's like, I've never seen one of your kind before, as she's, reaching out as a child would in wonderment, looking with their hands. And he seems to be a little bit agitated, but not quite as bad as you would think. He understands it's a child, and it's not his race's custom, but he puts up with it. After about another hour passes, more people for the caravan arrive now. It's pretty much almost as many people that pledged to go last night. However, less and less people have been trickling in, and so you are starting to feel like some people may have just pledged to go just for the free booze. In the entertainment and the night's entertainment and free booze.
Yeah, that was to be expected. So,
But I'd say a good 90% of them have arrived and look like they're ready for the journey. Nobody's really sick or anything like that, and there's nobody who's like particularly old. But however, as the group is gathering in preparations to depart, as there are several wagons that Jinx has procured. Um, let's see here. Cora Lilygold comes back down the tree path, and approaches you. And if you remember, Cora's the one that you originally gave the flakes to when you were trying to see if Marvelous Matthew Grenshi was a fake.
mm-hmm. At the brewery.
Yes, and so right, and so Cora comes back down the tree path, and she says to you, Well, I was able to secure you an audience with Sentinel Captain Reyna Silverfell, if you wish it.
I indeed wish it, and I am thankful.
And then she gives you she says to you, uh, just a minute though before you seek out the captain. Uh, if you'll come with me, and she asks you to go with her to her shop. She has something for you.
I kind of like turn to James and say, I don't think a lot of more people are gonna show up, so I'll leave it to your discretion for when to leave. Um, I told him how to get there, and then I follow her.
All right, and so as you're doing this hurried goodbye with Jinx, he says, "Well, very well. We'll set out now. This way we shall hopefully arrive uh, before too long. I would say if there isn't too many dangers, we might be able to arrive there before 2 nights' journey."
I wish yourself and speedy travel.
He says, "Well, until we meet again, I shall come back this way as I have to procure my ship." And he points out into the harbor, not the ship that's docked that you seen him initially loading. That's a far larger ship out in the harbor. Um, and it's actually it looks like from where you're at, it looks like a giant swan, literally, without the head. And he says to you, "Well, that's my swan song."
She's a beauty.
It says she's too big for the port, so I had to keep her out there and use a rowboat come in here to procure one of these ships to make trips back and forth. He says to you, "Do you think you? Well, are you gonna if you're gonna speak to somebody of importance, should I not wait? Should I not wait with you? If we're gonna be making deals with this city to procure trade, I would like to be privy to such dealings."
You're welcome to join me. But as you said, if you leave now, you and you don't have any unforeseen troubles, you should be able to arrive in 2 days. But, yeah. But indeed, I can understand why you want to join me in this.
I I think I could probably send my second mate. Things might be okay. I I kind of I kind of want to see what trades that some going ons that you're willing to make with these elven people. I don't have I don't have too much experience with the elven people, although you think I would, as they are the neighbors, the primary neighbors to the north and to the south of Dahlia Carnassus. But most of my dealings are actually with dwarves and orcs, well, and humans.
Then feel free to join me. I do believe that your first mate would be trustworthy since you wouldn't trust him if he wasn't.
All right, so so this young boy with like a popper hat comes scurrying up, and he has socks rolled up to around his knees and has his pants like tucked into his socks, and he comes scurrying up, uh, kicking up dust on the path, and Jinx says, "You there? 5 silver. I need you to take a message of utmost importance." And he begins describing the ship where it's docked at, and you hear him, tell my first mate, Loris, and then he's describing Loris, and so after about three or four more minutes, he passes the message on to this little boy, and he pays the little boy, and the little boy kind of takes his top hat off and kind of roils it in his hand and puts it back on his head. It takes off, and Jinx gives him an entire gold piece, and it seems to make the little boy rather happy. And he says, "Well, that should be attended to." And then he turns around and tells all the people who gathered here in order to take the caravans to Rivenhearth. He tells them that about his first mate, Loris. He's coming, and he'll be leading this expedition, and ensures them that he has purchased extra provisions, food and things like that, and those will be in a separate cart, and nobody is to ride in that cart, as that is just the provisions to make the journey more smoothly. And there's like sleeping equipment, food, and some initial building equipment, some stone and things.
I turn to the tabaxi and throw him 10 gold. Oh, make that 25 gold, and then tell him, get yourself some proper boots.
He says, he grabs it. He says, that I will. Thank you, Sir Asgrim. I appreciate the kindness and the offer, and I shall cherish your gift of this wine for the days and weeks forward. And then he gets on the back of the cart. One of the carts, he kind of tries to scrounge in and take up a little bit less room. And there's two kids that file in, sit beside him, with their feet kind of kicking off the back of the cart, and and then the cart takes off, and Jinx says to you, "So, off to see this Reyna then?"
Apparently, we need to go to the brewery first.
Very well. And so you go off to the brewery, and she hands you she turns around, and there's hooks up against the wall, and around those hooks there are some vines that are spread out the length of the hooks. They're kind of drying. There's buckets underneath of them, and like there's water dripping off these vines. And she says to you that she takes one of the vines off the hook, and she presents it to you, and she calls it a lash vine, and she says to you, "I figured, in exchange for your information on that marvelous Matthew Grenchy fellow, In order to get somebody who's possibly dangerous in selling counterfeit potions, I figured that you might have some skill about you in order to make some potions yourself. And so I thought I'd give you this ingredient here in order to increase the duration of some of your more earthly based potions.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. So
What is the properties of this wine?
well, this 3 foot vine here, you take a 1 foot section of the vine, and each 1 foot section of the vine will increase the it acts as a base to increase any of your nature potions. So, for instance, if you had a potion of regeneration, for instance, if you had the troll's blood and you had the mushrooms and you made the
Oh,
potion.
you mean one of these? And I take out a potion of regeneration.
Yeah, yes, precisely. If you add the lash tail, your regeneration properties, uh, the duration is doubled
Oh,
just by adding in the lash tail. They're rather rare, but I figured to help, since you helped, whether you had altruistic goals or not, I'm not sure, but you helped you helped take a possible criminal off of the streets of the market district, and for that I am thankful.
it is my honor to serve. I just don't like to see good people be taken advantage of, so I feel that a man like that does not deserve to be anywhere in a place like this.
Well, those snake oil salesmen do give us alchemists a bad name, and I do not need my reputation sullied from some upstart.
I kind of look at the wine. Does it, it looks fresh, right?
Yeah, the vine definitely looks fresh.
If I were to try and plant this, would I need any kind of special properties in the soil or in any? Does it like shaded areas or is it fond
Well,
of?
its favored climate is the jungle. So it needs to be rather warm and rather humid, and it has to have direct sunlight on its location for at least 10 hours a day. But if you were to find a suitable location, if you within well, this one's it's still rather fresh. If you find a suitable location to plant this within 3 days' time, you'll be able to grow something from it. Any more than that, and I'm afraid it will be stunted. And any further than that, it will just die and have been wasted.
See, that's the thing I can't remember if time goes slower in the bag of holding, right? It doesn't stop completely, but it slows down a lot, if I remember right.
I don't believe that's how it works in fifth edition.
Ah, fuck.
Let's see. Times. Time passes just the same for things inside the bag as outside the bag. That means spells with durations last the same amount of time, even if some part of that spell goes into a bag of holding. Oh. Let's see. Yeah, time still flows normally. Okay. All right.
That means I need to find a box and get an item made.
But they're called lash tails. They primarily grow in the jungle, so you know that now.
Yeah.
They are purple and purplish in color, and they have blue thorns on them. What's in the box? Whose footprints are these?
Oh, there's actually an item that I need. And it's actually common.
Snake, answer me.
It's called a chest of preserving. Oh, generous gift.
Well, hopefully you can get some use out of it. Thank you again for helping make this place that much more better. Have safe travels now.
Thank you. And if I remember right, that was the ranger lady at the archer ring. She got me in a meeting with, right?
Yeah, she got you into a meeting with uh, Sentinel Captain Reyna Silverfell. That is the captain of the guard. When you originally first arrived here and appeared in front of the one guard who questioned you, that guard was going to bring you to Reyna and give you
Yeah.
that meeting.
And then I met the captain when we went there to talk about wondrous Melvin. Why do I keep forgetting his name?
marvelous, marvelous Martin Grunchy.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's okay. I just happen to just sometimes names just come to me. I should have named it Marvin for you because of the marvelous. Whenever you say marvelous, everybody always thinks Marvin right after.
I think Marvin because of Marvin the Martian.
Yeah, yeah. that's not too many people know about Marvin the Martian.
What I do know about his wife. Oh boy, man.
Uh, all right, so Reina, um, she's over there at the one of the hollow entrances that leads to the covered path that essentially goes through one of the side routes and connects one side of the tree to the other at the base. Reyna is standing there at the junction and seems to be waiting for you. And by
As
extent, by extension, Jinx as well.
as we walk through the bazaar, I try to see if I can find one of those chests of preserving.
Okay. Uh, give me a percentile dice, high or low.
Dice.
I need to go high, and you know why.
All right. Well, then subtract 15 from your roll.
Minus 3.
Yeah. There's no chance of you finding what you're looking for at all. You could look in this town every day for the rest of your life, and there will never be another one again.
Or someone buys it right before I get there.
It was there the moment you fell asleep. It was sold, and you heard it in the echoes of your dreams, and you woke up. It was gone. All right. So you walk through the market bazaar and you do not see the chest. Disappointed and dejected, you walk on. And Reyna says to you, "Well, you must be rather important to somebody. The higher ups seem to be in quite a buzz about your arrival here."
I don't think it's because I'm important. I think it's more of a matter of how I arrived.
Yeah, well, when people tend to appear out of thin air, it does tend to make the locals suspicious.
That is indeed understandable.
All right, Cal, you gotta be quiet, honey. You're being too loud. I'm being told that you're affecting the audio quality too much. That's one. That's. I need my own little recording area. It's the bad thing about being in the middle of the living room of my apartment.
Yeah.
So she says to you, as you're all walking, she says, "Well, we don't really usually have people just appear here, especially those who are not citizens. And you didn't use any teleportation circles that I've seen, or any spells that have been reported. Well," and she says to you, Here, let me change your map.
Toys. Wah. 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 Okay. Back. Wah. Wah. Please quiet. You did die too loud. Oh, sure. You died well.
Raina leads you to this hollow at the base of the tree. It is a natural hollow, and the inside of it is impressively huge. Because the inside of this hollow has been made to be accommodating to the court. They hold their official court capacity here in the hollow of this tree. Off of this hollow, there is actually a door built into the side of it. And then off on the opposite side, there is an opening that is a large archway that leads up off into some meandering hills, and actually there's trees growing in there separate. So this tree is large enough essentially to hold entire ecosystems of other large trees on it.
Fine.
Yeah. So, and then as you walk into this room, you see that there are a lot of glowing fluorescent plants that are emitting like fluorescent lights of blue and purple tints. On one side of the room, on the right side, you're able to see that there is a walkway that leads up to a raised dais, and on that walkway there is a portal that leads somewhere. You can tell it's a portal though from where you're at, without any more knowledge than that. On the opposite side of that, however, there's like a little courtyard, and there's two benches facing opposite ways. But beyond that, there is just like the top side. The bottom side has matching stairwells going the opposite way, that leads to a large sphere that is rapidly rotating on its own platform. And these stairs lead up to that large platform, and then past it back down the other side of the stairs. The left side of the room has a area that is natural grass. It's like a fairy ring. There's a bunch of fairies flitting about here and there. And when you walk into this room, these fairies, they are letting off like an electrical charge, and you're not exactly sure what's happening, but they're coming to approach you. What would you like to do right now, if anything?
I just put a hand forward with the palm up, right in front of me.
All right, and so these fairies, they float around you, and like they're investigating you, like they're not exactly sure what to think of you. And when you hold your arm out, they actually like are playfully playing around with your arm by floating around it, and they're actually flying fast enough that it's causing its own little wind gust, and it's causing your sleeves to tamp up a bit from the air. And then you hear, suddenly, as if somebody's speaking right next to you, whenever they let off their yellow electrical impulse, you hear, "So much has been said about you, Sir Asgrim. I need to know first, are you friend or foe?"
I am friend.
If that is true, then tell me a story of how you arrived here.
I came through the tree of traversal. From the winter tree.
I've heard of this tree of traversal. It is a gnomish machination, is it not?
It is of the gnomes, yes.
Why did it lead you here?
I believe it led me to where I desired to go.
Why did you desire to come here to Emil Alda?
Because you and my people face a common enemy, a common danger. And I was hoping to form a alliance to ensure the safety of both our people.
And Jinx says to you, sort of under his breath, he says, I don't exactly know when I need to chime in here, but I'll look for opportunities. If not, I'll just keep my mouth shut and leave it up to you.
I turn to him and nod.
And then the Fae that is encircling you and speaking directly to your mind through their mind is sort of beckoning you to follow them. You notice this by the way that they're traveling slightly ahead. They're kind of hovering, and then they kind of stop and then wait for you to catch up a bit, and then they hover a little bit further ahead. And it looks like they're leading you further into this room. And as you go further into this room, you notice that everything in here seems to be that is made out of wood has been kind of made out of the same piece of wood. Like it was all lovingly sculpted out of the room. Like it wasn't added into the room. And so, and beyond, obviously, beyond the natural items, like there's vines and quite a few roots. And actually, the roots are so thick that you're actually able to climb up them as pathways. And this ball of roots and vines is actually situated. It's perched above you, about 15 feet or so above you. You're able to actually walk underneath it, and the area that you're walking on currently underneath it is it's mostly carpeted, but on the sides of it, you can tell that this is where a lot of people have once stood or currently do stand. Because over time it has been tarnished just by the sheer foot traffic comparatively to the rest of the wood in this place. And so the floating the Fae, the ball of energy is now floating up the roots and tells you that if you are indeed a friend of the elven people, to follow.
I start walking up.
All right, and you look around, and you can see that the hollow of this area, the quote unquote ceiling, which is also, it's just another piece of the tree, is probably about 70 feet up. And as you're climbing these spiraling roots, you notice that it's sort of like a spiral staircase, and it's actually rather easy to navigate up, and you're able to climb it assisting using your hands and your feet at the same time. No
Oh,
problem.
I don't need that. I can just walk.
Yeah, and
No. Cloak of Arachnid, remember.
oh well, yeah. It's just for flavor. You weren't actually having to like climb it like it's a rope. It's just like you're climbing like a diagonal ladder sort of. And so the roots from all sides of the path come together, and they join into the head of this elven matriarchal figure, and she's sitting on this throne that is made of roots and vines, and it looks more so like she's lashed in place by these roots, and it's like maybe some type of symbiotic relationship, perhaps. You're not exactly sure if she's the host or what's going on here, but I'm sure you'll find out eventually.
Let's hope so. Sounds interesting.
And so she lifts her head meagerly, and her eyes slowly open up, and she points an exhausted finger towards you, and then you hear the sounds of the familiar Fey sounds from that electrical energy that has been produced by the sheer number of these Fey. They're communicating her messages to you through themselves, and it's become clear that that's what this entire process is. And she says to you, "So you've come here to strike a deal with my people? Is this correct?
Yes.
What do you have that you can offer my people, and what do my people have that they can possibly offer to you?"
If we do not work together, death is certain.
Death.
The only way we succeed is if we are able to cooperate as in olden times.
Cooperation is preferred. What do you have in mind?
There was a defense treaty back in the day between men, elf, and dwarf. I hope we can use it as a base to rid this land of the dangers to the south and north, and to mutual benefit the growth of all our people.
I do. Callie, Callie, go play in your room, honey. I do seem to remember such a defensive pact. It was 7 centuries ago at this point. Our lands were a lot younger than they are now. Many a pacts have been made, and many a pacts have been broken. Still, my people seek peace whenever there's cause for it. Speak your mind and speak it true, young Asgrim. What are your intentions? What are your wishes? What are your goals and aspirations? Who are we defending from?
The undead. The Shadowfell. The ancient evil. The ones that threaten every aspect of your lifestyle.
I wish you went out of character. Okay. Well, you'll see. So, so she says to you, and you notice that you notice that when you said, as soon as you said the undead, it seems to have gotten tangibly darker in this place. You're pretty sure that when you came in here, when you were escorted in here, it couldn't have been later than 2-3 p.m. At the latest. However, at your mere mention of the undead, a nice cascade of moonlight emanates in from somewhere up in the upper portions of this trunk. It cascades down beautifully into the vines and the little bit of fabric that makes up this throne. And as the moonlight hits this very hauntingly beautiful yet very pale and thin woman, you can see for a brief moment. Go ahead and give me a religion check. You can see that there is definitely a god amongst the Celadrine that appears there in front of you as the moonlight cascades off of this very elderly figure, and you're very sure that this deity is Sihanin Moonbow, and she looks her weakened visage, her weakened demeanor changes very sternly when you mention the undead forces. And she listens very intently as she asks you specifics, specifically the numbers, where the forces are coming from, and how long you've known about them.
I answer as truthfully as I can, and relay every bit of information we got at Coventry.
She says, the undead forces are an affront to nature. Anything that is an affront to nature is an affront to Emil Alda and my people. I will not stand for it. And you... now you did it. Now you done did it, Asgrim. So... so she stands up And as she stands up in her throne, you can precisely feel Emil Alda itself moving with her, as if the city itself is trying to de-root itself. And you had to go and mention undead to... damn it. Okay. You didn't know...
Do something like that? I would never.
It's fine because you didn't know who this lady... that's like the one conversation I was like... this is how it would probably go if that happened.
Hiccups.
Of course, I'm gonna use Elf's hatred of undead to my benefit.
Right. And so as she stands up, you can feel some of the roots and things dislodging from the tree itself, from its shaking clumps of dirt, big giant rocks that have been long since... These roots have long since been deeply embedded into the earth. They're starting to shake free as Emil Alda is starting to come to life as a gargantuan siege weapon of a treant.
I want to sit on the shoulder.
And so this is her initial reaction, and so she asks you about who. She asks you if you have any knowledge of what's happening in Miller's Crossing, as they would be the first ones to be hit by this undead force coming through the swamps.
I relayed information that King Bernard sent troop in that direction to help defend the place. They sent weapons and armor and a little bit of provisions. And that we convinced King Bernard to try and call upon the elves in help of defense after undead, for the sake of not only their nation but also the elven nation and everyone who lives on this continent, and to bring more stability and peace to the land as a whole.
She says to you that, well, first off, she lets out a shake, because now she's assuming a form that she hasn't been able to assume for quite some time, actually. This throne is called the Rooted Throne for a reason, because whoever assumes this throne becomes this throne. They become Emil Alda themselves. They feed the life energy to Emil Alda. And so she's been in this throne for over 1,000 years at this point. 1,200 years to be exact. And so she is making sure that all the buildings and all the things that are being supported by this colossal treant is secure, that people and buildings aren't just going to start falling off left and right. Kind of being a little bit dainty with it, considering that the entire city just came to life and is actually stretching some of the branches out and some of the limbs. It reaches into the throne room itself, and with a large branch, one of the smaller branches, mind you, but still large enough for sure for you to climb on. Puts it down at your level, which, since you're, it'll be at the second level of this place because you're up top in the throne area. So it's about 20 feet off the ground, and the branch, she reaches in with the branch to allow you to climb up onto it.
I step up.
All right, and with that, she reaches the branch up high up into the air, and after this motion seemingly takes the tree about 30 seconds of time, but in those 30 seconds of time, you went from about 700 feet up in the air total to now about 3,000 feet up in the air.
Oh, I am happy that I got that cloak now. Otherwise, I would have.
And yeah, and so she basically just lifts you up with her arm, and you're able to see some of the lower hanging clouds and things. You're able to actually see Coventry from where you're at, and you're able to see the small vernal pools and things like that. You're able to see Miller's Crossing from where you're at, and you're able to see Barrymorn. You can see out into the ocean and the swan song out there. You have a very good view of everything, and in fact, you are able to, see a good portion of the Proudmoor itself, as well, as that is still floating up there in the sky around you.
I just stand there flabbergasted, taking in the entire thing as like.
All right, and so you look around, and it's like I said, it's kind of an overcast day, but you're lifted up high enough that you're above a lot of that overcast, and so it's actually rather nice for you. And when you look towards Miller's Crossing and towards that swamp area, you can indeed see the actual large portions of the swamp. A lot of the trees that were in the swamp have been tampered down and crushed. And you can see that there's fires. There's a lot of random fires here and there. In in the Valley of Mordavia that you can see beyond the swamp portion. Sort of like towards beyond where the ruins of Grammondale would be. And you're able to see that the forces, from when they hit past the swamp, not all of them went to attack Miller's Crossing. Some of them broke off and went down into the forest area towards Clogsneek, and you're able to to see a large contingency of forces going through the jungle over there. However, Miller's Crossing looks like it's been completely overrun. In fact, you're able to see that the quote unquote electricity that you learned about, that they use the resium crystals in order to operate. You can see that it is flickering in and out. And it looks like the harbor itself is actually on fire. You don't see any ships, and you actually see a lot of driftwood and things in the water as well. So the conditions over there do not look very favorable. However, you're not able to see terribly much detail from where you're at. Just the generalities of the fires and things.
I kind of like muttered to myself, it's far worse than I feared.
So she takes the branch level down to her face, and she well, more accurately, to the treant's face. You understand she's assuming the form of the treant. So she brings it down to down to the treant's face, and she says, Sehanine says, do you think Miller's Crossing is salvageable?
By the depths of my heart, I hope it is. With a doubt in my soul, I fear it's lost.
Well, in order to protect the region from undead forces, I think I shall march that way most assuredly.
On that matter, I know that that the elves hold an item of the dwarves of the north. I am going to go there next to get them to help as well. But I also know that the dwarves hold an item of yours, which I hope to return.
How do you know of the dwarven item from Casgador, and how would you know that we have it?
I know the stories of old, as as you know that I knew of the old Defend Pact. I am a man who enjoys spending time with books and hearing stories of many people.
Well, then hear this story. The elves of Emil Alda do not actually possess anything of the dwarves of Casgador. I feel that we were set up, but to what end I do not know. To who, I have no clue. We do not have any items of theirs, and I do not truly believe they have any items of ours.
But at the time, yeah, at that period in time, certain items of yours did disappear as well, right?
That is true, but we have run missions, and several of our missions have come back to indicate there is no such bow in their possession.
And you do not possess the drum of theirs.
We've never possessed the drum of theirs.
Huh.
We've seen the drum of theirs, and well, and she says to you, do you mind if we walk further towards Miller's Crossing? And mind you, walk is a generous term for a tree such as her size.
Not at all. Time is a pressing matter, so of course I have no objection.
All right, I'll place you down. I'll place you down before the fighting starts. She says to you, one of our sentinels came back to the the roots of Emil Alda with a drum. However, when 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 the body was inspected, as they died at right at our base, we found three deep slash marks in their side. This does not suggest dwarven weaponry. However, I do not believe that it was anything crude like something from the orcs, or it wasn't dragon made. I I
What about demons?
well, there have been eons past where demons have been a plague on this land.
And they have been not too long ago in Coventry as well.
There was a city underneath Coventry. That is true. Coventry was built on the ruins of an elven city. So it is possible that one of the planar gates there has not been deactivated, and a taint could leak into our world from another. But there's usually safeguards against such things. There's usually a patrol or a special watch or a special unit that is to guard against such things. Even entire cities have been erected to guard against such occasions occurring. And
But with the Yanti and the Drow,
the Yanti that is a race that I have not seen for hundreds of years.
I have seen them with my own eyes.
Well, if the Yanti are indeed involved and they have formed a pact with the demons, this does not bode well for anybody.
Oh, I can't remember his name. The demon lord that
Inagwe?
was he the one that had that's the null one, right?
Yeah, that was the null one.
It's not him. It's the one that was connected to um, the betrayal of Coventry through Lasur.
Oh, you're talking about Baba Yaga?
No, there was a demon lord.
You're talking about the one that you fought on the beach?
Not her, not her.
Okay.
Um,
Sorry.
there was a he took orders from Baba Yaga, and the Yanagwe and the Knolls were also involved in that, but that was through another demon lord that I can't remember the name of. That they served him. They served Yanagwe, but that served this other one. The one that Katrina also is involved with.
Are you talking about Katrina's husband? Lenosius?
Lenosius, yes, that's
Oh, yeah, he's not he's not a demon, but yeah.
more or less is, but
Uh,
powerful enough to be one anyway.
yeah, he's powerful enough to be one for sure.
There has been some issues with beings, being called Lanosius, that has tried to gain influence in the mortal realm.
And when you say Lenosius, Jinx Eros speaks up and he says, Lenosius? That how do how do you know Lenosius?
Um, he's holding a friend of ours as a hostage, and yes, that is a long story.
Lenosius is the pirate captain in charge. Well, for now, I guess, in Dalia Carnassus. What does he want over here?
He tried to usurp King Bernard of Coventry.
So he's making a power grab. But if he already has Dalia Carnassus underneath his thumb, what would he need with Coventry?
That's where the information about the portal below Coventry seems to be of importance. And now that the undead walks from the south through a portal down there as well, it all seems to be connected.
Um, say Hanin says to you, did you deactivate this portal, or is it still active?
We were not able to get near it. It is still active.
If there's one thing I know about demons, is if they're left unchecked, they spread. Their filth spreads like a plague.
And one demon lord has escaped that we know of.
One or two demons here or there will not start a plague, but an incursion can start if they are left unchecked for too long, as multiple incursion forces end up roaming together, creating one large incursion. And then the portals start opening, one after another, until the land is flooded with demonic taint.
Which is one of the reasons I think that we all have to stand together as in time of old, or this nation, entire continent before. Separate, none of us will survive. United, we have a chance.
Are you okay?
And then, Sayanine, she stops, and she does kind of an about face away from Miller's Crossing, and says to you, well, we should go to Khazgudor first, then. If we are to seek the help of the dwarves, then I'm afraid, my little friend, you probably will have more luck in this endeavor than I. However, I shall be able to bring you there most quickly, and they will assuredly see the severity of the situation if I am to attend with you.
It is a rare sight to see you, so we will stand a greater chance for them to understand the severity of the situation. And hopefully bring some peace to all of this.
Twice before has Emil Alda had to move within my stead, and both times it was due to an undead menace. The same result shall not repeat a third time.
Funny.
And we will start the next session there with you going towards Casgador. You will start the next session outside Casgador.
That sounds good. This was indeed an interesting session.
You know, I honestly wasn't anticipating on that happening. I didn't know you were going to mention the undead like that fast into the conversation.
I had two options. I could either choose to wait until the very end and they be very tired of my paddling on, or I could just get straight into it. And I was like,
right. Yeah. I thought you were going to get into like the trade negotiation weeds of it all, and then but you opened up with the war and like the urgency of the war, and it was who it's against, and that is her arch enemy. Not just of elves, but of this specific deity. Sehanin Moonbow is like the elven deity who hates the undead. Like that's where they get it from. Like that's where they get the reputation from.
Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay, if I can get them to see that I am actually here to a greater threat, and then I put that forth at the end, it just makes me seem like I am a self-centered, I am only trying to serve what is best to me. Doing it the other way around will give me, hopefully, a better standing and show that I am to be trusted.
I can say that it definitely made this fight a lot easier for sure.
Oh yeah, we got a fucking goddess avatar. Hell yeah.
A fucking gargantuan juggernaut treant that acts as a siege weapon itself. Oh my god. And then all the archers that come with it.
I am not a fighter, but I give you an army.
Yeah, definitely made the battle much more winnable. We'll see what happens with the dwarves though.
Yeah, that was gonna be a tough one to try and. But thank you for the session.
All right, man.
I am looking forward to next time.
All right, dude. Take care.
You too, man.
Take care.
All right, thank you everybody on D Live. Thank you YouTube for watching. I appreciate you all. If you enjoy this content and you want to see more of it, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, leave a like, and comment down below. All my players, as well as myself, will respond to your questions. If you have any type of TTRPG questions that you would like answered, I can address them in the Tavern Talk segments that we have uploaded to YouTube. We're going to start uploading those as timed exclusives to Patreon, so you'll be able to hear players and DMs discussing your guys' questions and how different different people would rule different situations. Really, anything that you want to ask us, you're able to ask us, as long as it has to do with tabletop or D&D in general. I just made a Patreon account yesterday, so it's brand new. So if you'd like to support my channel, I would very much appreciate that. Right now, 100% of any money that I earn is going right back into the channel right away. I can't afford for it to be any less than 100%. I can't right now. And so your help helps me grow this channel. So maybe later on down the line, I'll be able to, have some type of a living doing what I love, and that's teaching you guys and entertaining you guys, and I appreciate the opportunity. So thank you so much. Have yourselves a great day. I'll see you soon. Take care.